So to start for the pasta, I'm just going to fill this pot with water so I can get it boiling. Then I'm just going to put some salt in the water, and then I'm going to put it on high heat. Then I'm just using half a pound of ground beef, and I think it calls for a pound, but I don't like that much in it, even though it's supposed to be like lasagna. And I'm also cooking the ground beef on high, and then I'm going to take a fork and just break it up so that it all cooks evenly. Then this is just the meat cooking. I love how I filmed it vertically, so that we have all this nice white space on the sides. Woo! You can tell I'm not good at this. Don't worry, some of the clips towards the end are horizontal though. Now the meat's starting to soak up more of the water, and there's not as much blood in it, so wow. And then I'm still waiting for this to like boil. So in here I have salt, and then I'm gonna use a pound of just penne pasta. I'm using the flash on my phone because the light is broken and I have to hold it down, so. Ow. Okay, so the meat is done. I drained it. I turned off the heat. Now I just have to wait for the pasta to be done. But I never timed stuff right. So the meat should have been done when the pasta was, but I'm not a cook. I think these are done. Ow. Yeah, this is done. So I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to strain them over here. Take this, put it back in the bowl. Here, I'm gonna take the meat that I cooked. I'm gonna put that in here with the pasta. So now that the meat's in here, I'm just gonna put a little bit of olive oil on it. It's probably too much. Don't really know. Mix this up. I don't like that much beef, so I usually only use, I think, half a pound, even though it calls for a pound. And then I use a whole pound of pasta. So this is the sauce I'm using. I'm going to use the whole jar. You could make it homemade, but that's not for me. And if you make it homemade, it says you only need like 3 cups. Don't ask me why. But I might only use half of this jar. Okay, so I put the sauce, and I use only about like 3/4 of the jar. I'm not going to use the whole thing. But you can do whatever you want. Then I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of salt. Put that in. This is going to take forever. And I don't really know what I'm doing. But, okay. So that's about 1 teaspoon of salt. And then I need half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Well, half of it missed the spoon and went into it. So we're going to have a little bit more than half a teaspoon. And the next thing is a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. It says you could use more than a teaspoon. So, I'm not good at eyeing stuff though, so I'm going to use this just to measure, even though half of it is going into the pot anyway. I mean, it says 1 heaping teaspoon, so I guess that's good. It's like a lot. Oh well, whatever. So that's everything I just added. Now I'm gonna mix it all up. So I don't really like sauce, so that's why I didn't use the whole thing. But this is like the perfect amount. Okay. I'm also gonna add in crushed red pepper. And then mozzarella cheese. I'm gonna use a cup. Maybe a little more than a cup. If I could get it to open though. I'm gonna put the heat back on. But I'm gonna just put it on low, just so the cheese melts. The cheese is in, I'm gonna mix it around so it melts easier. I might actually add a little bit more. I love cheese. And then the last thing I'm gonna add in is a cup of sour cream. And the cheese is still melting. I have it on really low heat. So I just added in the sour cream, the cheese is melting. Just gonna mix everything together. That almost went over the side. I can't record and do this. I really need a tripod.